back to my channel here, FATV Fan Art. We are continuing our second part of this Obi Wan Kenobi Baby Yoda meme, now becoming an oil painting, doing some portraiture. You might learn a little bit about how to paint actual people versus Muppets or fake people, but we're going to be doing both. Well, you could learn to paint Muppets and people. But anyway, Obi Wan Kenobi holding Baby Yoda from a meme I made. We're going to continue with that. But before I show you what I'm going to be working on in this video, I'm going to give you a little recap here in time lapse of what I've been doing last episode and what I did a little bit in between. All right, check this out. Okay, and watching that, you can kind of see how slow going the process really is. And here's the painting over here, where I've added in some colors, but I'm going to get close up and show you a little bit more of what I've been doing and a little explanation. All right, so I am closing in on some of the details here, just applying some basic color. We'll throw up the picture of the meme here in just a moment, but again, this Baby Yoda meme is something I put together in Photoshop with Obi Wan holding Baby Yoda. There's no correlation I know of in the Star Wars universe where these two are together. There is, of course, with the real Yoda, but this is the child, the Mandalorian Baby Yoda, okay? As he's commonly and colloquially, however say that, colloquially known. Okay, so we're going to be working more on these colorations of the skin, not so much on the hair, but just getting the basic color in. Probably in the hairline too, getting a little bit more in the shadows all around there, and maybe you can learn a little bit more about or improve your skills on how to paint portraits, and I hope you enjoy this video. A little bit here on the brushes that we're using. I got a good shot right here. We're going to have to get into a line brush, especially when we get around the eyes. But for the blending, the basic application, the colors on the face, these are the brushes I'm using here. From an 8 here on the flathead brush, 4, and a, well, I think it's a 6, okay? Brushes. Now, believe it or not, one more brush. For the blending, I sometimes use a little makeup brush because it has that like real soft animal hair. I hate using animal hair, but it works. And I use a little bit of the makeup brush here for certain blending effects, just lightly going over areas to blend in where I need to. Okay, and then I just clean it off, and then later we'll use some mineral spirits. So wash the brush, clean it thoroughly. So I'm going to start here on the right side, working this little shadowed area, and looking at the photo up there, you can see just how much on canvas, right? It would be his left side of his face, just how much black there really is, and that's because it's very shadowed on that side. And so I'm just going to start adding in a little bit more of that dark color, especially here where it goes into closer to the eye. Okay, you can just see around the eye too. There's quite a bit of dark color, and that's fine that we're just putting it in dark. I can still see a little bit of my drawing underneath, which is essential for me to know. As I did some measurements when I draw, I try to use some measurements for proportionality. Although it's my drawing, I didn't spend a ton of time because it's not with the painting's necessities required. But I did need to draw in certain details. I think I need to go down to a smaller brush. I did need to draw in certain details, or else it would be much more difficult, at least for me, to paint. I'm not a professional portrait painter, and in fact, have done very little. So this is kind of a learning experience for me, and less of a direct how-to. But I've been studying how to do this for some time now, and I think there's something we all can gain from learning this technique, and it's actually very fun. It's a ton of fun to do this, even if it's going to not come out perfect. I'm having a great time learning how to do it. Okay, so looking at my picture kind of on the top there, you can see there's quite a bit of shadow right there coming in on the forehead. And like I said, I'm using this smaller brush just to bring in some more of this dark color. You can see where his eyebrow is right there. It comes up at somewhat of an angle right here, and it crosses over. So we're paying quite a bit of attention to this eye, the way we can see it. I have another picture I'm going to throw up of a light. It looks a lot lighter than this, and I think it's going to help a lot. Bringing in some of the dark color into the shadow there. We'll go over some more skin tone because, I mean, everything in the universe is, Leonardo da Vinci mentioned is already black. I mean, once you add light from a light source, then you see color, and actually color is all interpreted in your mind, anyways. It's just the way that physics breaks it down into the basic spectrum. But truth be told, I don't know if we really know for sure if other species see the same spectrum of light we do. That's just how we do it. Okay? So we're going to go over that eye just a little bit more, making sure we maintain the shape of the eye as best as we can, and bringing in that shadow there. And going up this way, under the eye, he's got a lot of shadow. Quite a bit with the bags under his eyes, like I have, because you don't probably get enough sleep because he's Jedi training all the time and fighting Sith Lords and the Empire, and so you're a tired Jedi, Kind of deal with freaking Anakin, little brat, basically. So, oh man, forgive me. All right, he kind of was. He started off good and became a little Hellraiser in the end, but then he becomes good. He still becomes good, and we all know this if you know the story. I'm not spoiling this. This has been out forever. Notice a lot of red under red tones. Raw sienna or burnt siennas are helping here with a little bit of these under red tones, and there's going to be beard there that I just haven't really. I just want to get the color in right now. I think I'm going to add a little bit of Indian yellow here to see if it light. Nope, that didn't work. So we just experiment. Add a little more Venetian red to my paintbrush. Okay, and I just kind of see I'm going to tap in a little bit of red tone in there as I go on my screen and actually expand the photo. That there's definitely some red tone in there that if I don't put in now, it'd be harder to bring out with the lighter paint. And that's kind of what a lot of this is experimenting with color, because there's so many. I can break this up into a grid of 1,000 squares or more, and you can use the grid method. And if you don't know what grid method is, it's just like on a piece of paper, line grid, and it helps you to break down each little part of the face or whatever to just work on that little portion, because if you see what colors are in that portion, you'll know where to go next, okay? To the square to the next, and be like, okay, that's a little more red over there, this and that. I'm not using grid on this, probably should have, but then I have to paint over the grid lines, and I don't like that. I'd rather just do it this way and eyeball it. And if it doesn't look 100% the same, no one's going to punish me for it, because I could do whatever the hell I want in my world. Okay. Getting into a little bit more of these beard colors, darkening it. We're going to have to put in the other side of this mustache and beard colors, I think, over here. I remember when watching also with friends back in the day when this movie came out, and then so you see how Obi Wan ages. This would be a little bit of the older Obi Wan, and not the younger one in the show, or in the movie rather. And now there's a Kenobi, I guess, movie coming out. I don't know if it's that or a Disney show or series. I can't tell you for sure. I'm looking into it, but I heard Kenobi's coming out, whenever that may be, and that should be a real thing for Star Wars fans like me. I wish, I'm so busy with all the projects that I have, I could watch more. I'm still trying to get into all the Mandalorian episodes and finishing those. So those of you who binge watch stuff other than YouTube videos, you might have to go in the comments and fill me in on what's going on right now. Even though I do consider myself a pretty big Star Wars fan, I am not by any means as into the fandom as other people are, who are just on top of it all, and they know exactly what's going on all the shows, all the Disney Plus or whatever the case may be. A point out here on the lip, make sure the upper lip's darker. You can see where the bottom lip's quite a bit lighter, and there's a dark shadow line right here that you're going to want to at least put a little dark paint to go over later on and probably pronounce more later as you do it. You can see just where the beard comes in here, just a tiny little speck of light right there, but you can kind of see where the mustache and beard connect as we get over here and pull in some of that, shadow it, and work it in like so. All right, so we got that right side done there. Some of that same red color I think we see up here. Go up there, put some in. Come on. Got a little bit of that red that we need to apply right there. And you can see that with this red, it really has like a red brown shadowing in there, at least on this picture and what we're working with. Okay, we don't want to overdo it on there, but we're gonna have to put some more in there. Maybe add a little cad yellow to lighten it up. Okay, got a little bit of Indian yellow here, and put a little skin tone pale pink just to lighten it up. Okay, and you can see here where that brow line, okay, goes up above there, and quite a bit of black over his left eye right there. Okay, so we want to make sure we don't lose a lot of that black. We need to keep some of it, but we can always add in some light, which is fine. Always add in more. And continue to color the hairline in with a little darker. You can just see how much this is all darkened in right here, and that hair is quite at that point right here, covered in black. Now, like I said, you can blend that in however you want to do it, but we have to move on to some other color here. As we go in, I'm going to add in a little bit of Naples yellow on my brush, and this orange cadmium yellow orange color, and then blend in a little bit more here. And as you see this line, this is a very important line right here. This is a line of where it's transitioned to cut from lighter to darker, lighter, darker. Okay. So this is quite orange in here. Okay, it has an orange, like he's tanned or something. And other picture looks much more white, but it's just the light effect, of course, that's doing that. Not true color. It's the lighting. It's all about the lighting. Okay, you can see in here there's quite a bit orange here. Might want to put a little bit Indian yellow on the brush just to kind of bring that orange out a little bit more. And you can see here there's a little bit of yellow in tone, orangish in tone above that brow right there. And I'm going to bring that in a little bit like so. And you don't see much eyebrow there. We're going to have to work on the hair later. But right now you can see on his nose, you get a clean brush. I think this is clean. You're going to want to take just some pure white because we can work in some of this other color. Put just some pure white on here. He's got a little bit of a notch in his nose there, from what I can tell. So we're going to have to work that effect right there because I think about right there it curves in. I want to stay with some of this dark color in here and then just work in that shadow. Okay, just keep looking at your picture, making adjustments as you go. All right, so again, got some of this white color on the brush. He has quite a bit of bright reflection on his nose and quite a bit of bright color up in here on his forehead. So I'm just putting in some whites where I see most of that reflection, just so to keep track of it. Yeah, there's some reflection right there. And we'll come back with more white. This brush is a little bit dirty, but that's okay because this is going to be a while on this painting and some of it's going to dry. I just want to maintain some of those light areas because that's going to be important later on as we progress. So you can see a lot of where there's shine here, also on his cheekbone, quite a bit of it. I'm going to put a little more shine in there with the white. Likewise on the other side, you might want to go back one of the other brushes. We can see some of this orangish tone in here. And we want to just bring in some of that as well. So what we're doing until we finish this video here is we're just laying in foundations of color. And what that essentially means is let's pay attention to what colors we have going on in his face and where the light's hitting and where we need to add light. Reflection. We know there's a little more light in here, okay? And we're just hitting those spots where the light's reflecting and trying to maintain a form. We're sculpting on the canvas as opposed to, you know, a 3D sculpture. We're creating an illusion, okay, to look like as much of the 3D image I'm sure that was once taken and then later probably doctored a little bit to get this light effect by whoever the person was that did it. I'm sure it was a Disney Studios or something, who knows, because it's not the original picture as you saw. And you have to be real careful around the eyes, okay? You want to make sure to maintain a lot of that shape that's there. You don't want to spoil that. So we'll work on the eyes the next episode, but I just want to finish up here, laying in some of this basic foundational color. You can see on this side again the oops, needs a little more dark than that. There we go, a little bit better. And we have these skin tones coming in at various spots, okay? We're just filling in and guessworking a lot of this color. A little bit of orange around the eye there. I think it needs a little bit more of a blend on this side here. Okay, so I have a cleaner brush that doesn't have as much color on it, but definitely needs a little more of that blend there. And as you can see on the left side where there's black, I got this dirty brush that's been used in black before. I'm just pulling in a little bit more of that color, a little bit more raw sienna over there, where I can darken it, and under the hairline as well. A little bit more on the nose. One of the things I want to do on this nose is make sure I am not losing that shadow right there. I'm going to go into a little lamp black and just basically make sure I'm hitting the right spots. Some shadow coming in here as well. And that's just basically to give you an idea of what you're doing at this stage. Lots of work left to do, but that's why we're just at this stage of laying in basic color and very far from being done. You're probably going to want to blend some more up here, of course, where you see that there's areas where color's not necessarily all yellow or orange or brown or whatever. Just blending a little bit there. And I think he has a little bit of a spot right here of lightness. So I'm going to put a little bit more right there just to kind of remember where it's at. Using a little bit of titanium white just to touch it there a little bit. We'll do some more highlights later. It's okay. We will get it all eventually. Blend it in a little bit more there. And we will just stop right there for now. Okay, everybody, that's going to be all for now. We're going to end with just asking you a quick favor. Make sure you tell all your friends about the channel. Like, subscribe, especially if you want to get ideas to paint things like this, or some tips on how to do something like this, or just starting out as a painter, or learning oil paints, or whatever the case may be. If you need some art instruction, I think this is going to be a really good channel for you. Or if you just like to watch someone paint.
Like a lot of people just watch Bob Ross just to watch him paint. Maybe that's a good reason for you to subscribe too. We have 5,700 subscribers. Thank you all for subscribing. But if you haven't subscribed yet, hit the little button and get notices so you get to see the second 2 parts of this where we finish the painting and other notices for other videos like this. So again, thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Please make sure that you stay tuned for parts 3 and 4, maybe 5. Well, I don't know, or at least part 3 and 4 of the Obi Wan Kenobi and Baby Yoda meme painting. So that's going to be really exciting. So I just want to end off by saying, if you love to create, be the person that you were born to be the artist you were born to be the creator you were born to be. Stay true to yourself and have a great week, everybody. I'll see you later.